Welcome back to my channel, guys. My name is Raggy and you are watching an ongoing series in which I take all of the Pokemon from a specific gen, and I determine whether or not I would eat them. In today's episode, we are going to be looking at all of the Pokemon released in Gen 5, that is, Pokemon Black and White. As you can see on the left here, we have the categories. We have the Pokemon that I would absolutely eat, the ones I might try, the ones that I would eat if forced to. There are those that I simply wouldn't eat, and then there are those who are just literally inedible, so I couldn't eat them if I wanted to. Now, getting straight into it, hold your comments, please. I know I'm a terrible person for considering this even at all. But we're gonna get into some of this with a bit of rationale, and others we're just gonna rapid fire because there are a lot to get through. Anyways, without further ado, let's just get into it. So starting off, mythical Pokemon number one in this deck's Victini. Weird they did it like that, trying to be different, whatever. I wouldn't eat Victini. It's just bad juju, honestly. You shouldn't eat a mythical Pokemon. I know I said I would eat Celebi in the Gen 2 video. Ignore that. Anyways, Snivy, Servine, and Serperior, I would try them. They are snakes, and while we don't necessarily think of snakes as food, there's no reason not to try it. On the other hand, we've got Tepig, Emboar, and Pignite, that's him. They're pork. So they are barbecue pork. They are literally fiery pork. So yes, I would eat that. As for Oshawott, Duat, and Samurott, including his Hisuian form, if I were forced to, I would eat the first two. But I don't think I would eat Samurott in either form. He seems kind of like painful to eat. I'm not sure why. Patrat and then the other one. I might try them, absolutely. I don't have a good reason. I know they are rodents, so it's like, you know what, I'm going to say if I were forced to. You probably shouldn't eat rodents. Then we got Lillipup, Herdier, and Stoutland. And, oh my god. If I were forced to, right? Life or death, I would eat them. I wouldn't be happy about it. I'd hate myself forever. Purloin and Liepard. If I were forced to, I could eat a Liepard. As for Purloin, I wouldn't eat him. I couldn't eat a cute little kitty like that. Then we got the monkey guys. I actually hate these guys, so you might think it would be a pleasure for me to eat them, but they kind of gross me out. They look weird. So we got Pansage, Pansear, Panpour, Simisage, Simisear, and Simipour. And I'm just gonna say I wouldn't eat any of them. There's something about like monkeys that are very like gross to me, usually. So I'm just not gonna touch them. I'm just gonna steer away from these guys. Then we got Munna and Musharna. I'm not sure what these guys are meant to be, like a tapir maybe? I would say I might try them because they kind of look like marshmallows, so their flavor may surprise me. Staple of this series, if it is a bird, there is a good chance it is going to get eaten, and I would try pigeon or dove at some point. I know they're very similar to rodents, especially in New York City and places like that, but I would still give it the old college try. You know, for P-Duff, I will say I might try it. As for Unpheasant and Tranquil, absolutely, because they are, for all intents and purposes, pheasants, and we know that pheasant is a delicious food. Zebra Striker and the other one. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting their names. We are at the gen where my memory of Pokemon's names are starting to get a little blurry. Blitzel! There he is. Okay. I might try Blitzel and Zebra Striker. Absolutely. As for Roggenrola, Boldor, and Gigalith, you can't eat them. They are made of rock, so I don't think I need to explain that too much. Then we have Woobat and Swoobat, and wouldn't eat them because an ongoing rule on this channel is we do not eat bat. Drillbur and the other one, oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. Excadrill, however you say it. If I were forced to, these guys don't look appetizing. I wouldn't even really try, but if you were, you know, if you had me at gunpoint, I might try it. Ordino, I think I would eat an Ordino, and in its mega form too. They just look like they're made of cotton candy and yummy dessert stuff, really. Timber, Girder, and Conkeldurr, and I wouldn't eat them. They are too similar anatomy-wise to people. That's weird. They got like fingers and stuff. Imagine that on your plate. No, thank you. Then we got Timepole. He's meant to be like a tadpole, so I'll say I might try it. It might be safe. And then we got Palpitoad. I'm just going to say the same thing for him, and Seismitoad as well. I don't think I would love it, but I would try it. Saw can throw, same story as like Conkeldurr, too close to people. I would like see like an arm and a visible elbow on my plate and I'd just throw up. Also, are their outfits edible? Or we're getting into weird territory there. Then we have, oh man, it's Leaveney, Sewaddle, and the other one, the small one from this one. Comment down below what the names of these guys are and if it actually upsets you that I can't remember their names, because it's upsetting me. Anyways, these guys are just like little like leaf caterpillar bug things. I would say if I were forced to, I could eat them. Survival in the wilderness. If they're nutritious and not dangerous for me to eat, then why not? This one is Scolipede or Venipede, and Whirlipede is the one in the middle there. I'm gonna same story for these guys. I'm just gonna say if I were forced to. They look gross. They may be toxic. I would say if forced to, I would eat them unless they are poisonous, which they might be, at which case I would just not eat them. Then we got Cottony and Whimsicott. I feel like you can't eat Cottony. Like, can you eat cotton? I'm gonna say you can't eat them. Or you can't eat Cottony, but Whimsicott I think it would be okay, so I might try Whimsicott. Adorable as he is. Then we got Petilil. Petilil, I guess there's no reason not to. I don't think he's poisonous. I think this is a regional variant of Lilligant. So we got Lilligant here, and I would just eat Lilligant, sure. I think this is just a regional variant thereof, so I don't think there's any reason not to unless it's poisonous. If it is poisonous, it is going into the would not eat section. Then we have Basculin, and again, I think this is a regional variant with the white stripe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but these guys are just fish, so I think they would be okay. They don't look great to eat, but I would try them with such enthusiasm, you might as well say I would absolutely eat them. No sweat. Okay, so now we got Sandile, Crocorock, and Crocodile. I've said before on this channel that I would eat Croc. Like, the fact that it is a crocodile or a gator or whatever does not deter me, but it is like a sand croc. It is like a ground type. So I feel like it might be, in fact, tougher and probably imbued with like sand and dirt, probably. So I think I just wouldn't eat these ones. Crocodile, on the other hand, he's like red in color. He probably is a little less dirty. I'm not sure. It's a weird rationale. I think I might try Crocodile. Maybe. We'll see. Darumaka, and I think it's Alolan Darumaka or Galarian, I guess. Sorry if I get it wrong. But I guess I might try them. Hey. Same story for Darmanitan, except in his Zen form. I feel like in his Zen form, he is not edible, except when it's like his regional Zen form. Then it would be a matter of if I were forced to, because I think he's edible. He looks more edible than his normal Zen form, but I'm not sure how crazy I am about the idea. It looks kind of oppressive to my taste buds. Maractus, I've been told many times you should not eat cactus, but if it is edible, I would say I would eat it if I were forced to. So there you go, Maractus. Dwebble and Crustle. I wouldn't. Like, I like shellfish, and that is what he is for all intents and purposes, but it's very hit or miss for me. It's like I'm either crazy about a specific kind of shellfish, or I hate it. And the fact that he is mostly rock in both forms is like just a red flag to me. Then we got Scrafty and Scraggy, and again, it's the same story as like Conkeldurr in that too close to our anatomy. I'm not going to touch that. Sigilif, however you say it. I don't think you can eat that thing. Yamask in both forms. Yeah, not touching that. Cofagrigus, you cannot eat an ancient sarcophagus, nor should you, one as haunted as this. So on this channel before, I have stated that I would probably try turtle or tortoise or whatever because I've heard that it is delicious. But in the case of Caracosta and Tortuga, they are fossil Pokemon, so I feel like there would be something about their anatomy that would probably be hazardous for me to eat, so I would not eat them. Also, I love them, so there's that. Same story is going to go for Archon and Archeops. They are fossil Pokemon and prehistoric as hell. You can tell that they are based on ancient dinosaurs. I'm just not going to eat that. Trubbish, do I have to explain why I wouldn't eat Trubbish? Same story for Garbodor, including his Gigantamax form. Now we're on to Zorua and Hisuian Zorua. Weirdly, if I were forced to, I would eat Zorua and Zoroark. But on the subject of their Hisuian forms, I don't think I would, because they seem cursed as hell. Their normal region form, it's cute and cuddly, but in a survival situation, I would absolutely eat them. But their Hisuian form looks a little more like they're ghost types, right? So it's like, if you eat this, you will be cursed. Minccino and Cinccino, I don't know if that's how you say their name. There is literally no reason not to eat these guys, so I'm just going to put them up into my try. I don't think I would like it, but there you go. Okay, so now we got Gothita, Gothorita, and Gothitelle, and yeah, it's Conkeldurr theory. They just remind me too much of human anatomy with their upright bodies and like arms and legs and faces and stuff, so I wouldn't eat them, and I feel like that's a respectable decision. Okay, we got Reuniclus, Duosion, and Solosis, and I don't know, they're like a weird like amoeba thing. My instincts are just saying don't eat these guys because like they look like bacteria or something, and there's no reason to put weird looking bacteria into your body if you don't know what it is from or what it does. So yeah. Ducklet and Swanna, okay, these guys are going right to the top, just because I have had duck before, and I know some people who are like, I will never eat duck, and I say those people are crazy because duck is delicious, and swan probably also is delicious. I can certainly bet that I would finish these meals, absolutely. Then we have Vanillite, Vanillish, and Vanillix. I think that's right. I think everyone on Earth, unless they're like lactose intolerant, is going to put them into the absolutely would eat section. Like, does it require any real explanation as to why I'm putting ice cream in the absolutely would eat section? Then we got Deerling and Sorsbuck here, and I'm just going to say it, all of these guys are going to go straight into the absolutely would eat section. Reason being that they are all deer, and that's just venison. So there's literally no reason to say no. You could argue that like maybe Deerling could be spared because it is an infant, but it's not even a baby Pokemon. So I would just eat them. I'm sorry. Okay, then we have Emolga. If I were forced to, I could eat Emolga. Carablast and Escavalier, I think his name is. Okay, wouldn't eat Carablast. Escavalier, same story actually. Fungus and Amoongus, I do not like mushroom, wouldn't eat them. Okay, we have Frillish and Jellicent, and no, they're like weird jellyfish things, which you probably shouldn't eat. In fact, you know what? These guys are probably actually not even edible, now that I think about it, so I'm just going to put them down here. Then we have Alomomola. He's just a big old fish, right? So I'm going to put Alomomola into absolutely would eat. Joltik and Garvantula. You know what? Wouldn't eat them. I mean, and no one could disagree that it's a spider, and that's enough reason to not want to eat it. Ferroseed and Ferrothorn are made of steel, therefore I cannot eat them. Okay, I believe these are Kling, Clang, and Kling Clang. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's been so long. I'm gonna... like, they're made of steel gears, so obviously you just can't eat them. Alright, we got Tynamo, Electric, and Electros, and I wouldn't eat them. They're electric eels. That's weird to me. I don't like the idea of eating eel. I'm sorry. Usually I'm more open-minded than that, but they are like innately just electric and dangerous, so I'm not going to touch that. Okay, we have LGM and Beheum, and they look like they're just made of rock or some kind of weird alien material. You cannot eat them. Litwick is a candle. You can't eat that. Lampent is a lamp, and one is a chandelier. Chandelure? I mean, they're all made of inanimate. They're all inanimate objects that you cannot eat. So there you go. Also, they are ghosts. That's weird. Then we've got Axew and As for Axew and Fracture, I'm going to say if I were forced to, I would probably eat them. They don't look appetizing to me though, not one bit. As for Haxorus, I'm going to say that you probably can't eat him. He looks like he's like edible to some degree, but I don't think so. There's probably too much like hard stuff all over him. Cubchoo and Beartick. Wouldn't eat a Cubchoo. Beartick, on the other hand, if I were forced to, survival situations being what they are, I would eat a Beartick. Cryogonal. He's just a weird ice thing. I don't think he's really edible. Maybe you could melt him down and drink him, but I'm not going to try. Okay, Shelmet and Axelgore. And I'm going to put them right next to Carablast and Escavalier, because they look just as appetizing to me. There's something about mollusks. I'm just not into it. Then we got Stunfisk and regional variant of Stunfisk, and maybe you can't eat them, but I don't think I would try if they were. And we got Mienfoo and Mienshao. These guys, there are so many Pokemon in Gen 5 that I wouldn't eat. No, I wouldn't eat these guys at all. Not a chance. Druddigon. His whole shtick is that he is so rough-skinned that that's kind of his weapon, so I'm going to say he is inedible. Same as Golett and Golurk. Ponyard and Bisharp. Wow, there's a lot of Pokemon you can't eat. Bouffalant, on the other hand, is like the first Pokemon in a while here who I would eat without question, because he is a buffalo, and therefore he is just beef by another name. I would eat the hell out of him. He has probably eaten most of any Pokemon in the world, possibly. Maybe Vanillite beats him there, I'm not sure. Rufflet. I don't think I would eat Rufflet. Bravery. Bravery, on the other hand, I would try Bravery in both that and his Hisuian form. No sweat. Vullaby. I definitely wouldn't eat Vullaby, and same story goes for Mandibuzz, because they have vultures, and I know that that's like not necessarily a bad thing, but we know what vultures eat, and I'm not going to eat that too. Then we got Heatmore. Heatmore looks gross, but he might actually surprise me. I'm going to say I would try Heatmore. Durant, you cannot eat Durant. He is made of steel. Dino and Zweilous and Hydreigon. Weirdly, like, big, powerful dragon Pokemon that they are, I would still actually try them, I think. Apart from being like dragons, there's not actually any reason not to try them, so I would do that. Then we have Larvesta and Volcarona. And I'm going to say if I were forced to, they don't look terribly appetizing, and I know that they are incredibly rare, but again, survival situations being what they are, yeah, I would try Larvesta and Volcarona, and I feel like they would taste much the same. Then we finally have, like, the legendaries. I know Volcarona is kind of like a pseudo-legendary, sort of, but not really. But now we've got the actual legendary Pokemon from this gen, and I'm going to say that for Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion, I'm just not going to eat them. I'm sorry. Actually, for Terrakion, you probably can't eat him, because he is made of rock. And then we've got, I'm going to rate these guys together. We've got Tornadus, Thundurus, and Landorus. And I'm just going to say if you can eat them, doesn't matter what form they're in, you probably shouldn't. And it's like, I don't know if it's because they're legendary, but they certainly, like, seem more intelligent. They seem like they are on par with, if not more intelligent than human beings, so I would not mess with that. Then we have Reshiram and Zekrom. I feel like you can't eat them. Like, there's just some divine thing about them that prevents them from being able to be eaten, or cooked, or killed, or anything like that. And for that reason, I have to say that Kyurem and both of his colored variants go into the same section. Then we have Keldeo, and you may be able to eat Keldeo. I am not eating Keldeo. And then Meloetta has two forms as well, and same story as Conkeldurr. Too much like a person. Too much like a person. I would just not eat Meloetta. And then lastly on this list is Genesect, and I love Genesect, but it doesn't matter because you can't eat steel. And there it is, everybody. These have been my ratings as to whether or not I would eat Pokemon from Gen 5, Black and White. So as you can see here, there's a few options here for what I would eat. Most of them are actually the same because half of these are like Sawsbuck and Deerling, whatever. But then there's a lot of Pokemon that I just straight up wouldn't eat. They may be edible, but I just wouldn't touch them, so that's really weird. Comment down below which ones you would eat and why. Definitely let me know that, because I might make a video in the future about people's weird rationales over Pokemon, stuff like this. In any case, if you enjoyed the video today, then make sure to give it a like and subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can get instant updates anytime there is a new upload. Anyways, Ragamuffins, thank you so much for watching the video today. I will see you next time. Have a good one.